Where it's like, oh, the single ladies, oh, yeah, put your hands up and I don't need a man. No,
Okay.
definitely not like that. So that's not my perspective. Right. Is that a copyright?
No. That's why I said it on.
In the cut, food for thought, in the putt, with the knowledge for your gut. Come and get it while it's hot. OG Ush in the cut, thought in the putt, knowledge for your gut. Get it while it's hot.
What's going on, OGs? It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
A hell of a minute.
It's been a hell of a minute. I just want. What? Okay.
I'm back.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
when I was on the show, I had her. So you see me,
So
right?
did I.
So, come on now. This is how long it's been.
So did I. So yeah, we got Marcus back on the show, guys, and we got our new guest today. You can take it. This is Miss Shadela. Say hi. To
Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here. Yeah, I was shocked when Josh asked me to be on this, so I feel
Yeah.
privileged, definitely privileged to be here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
I appreciate that. I doing a little things a little different this time. More podcasty, if you will. Just having a conversation on different topics that, we come up with and whatnot. So, it's a chill environment. We're just giving our opinion, our experiences, and just kind of having a conversation, yeah? So we want to start off this episode with Happily Single, it's called.
Uh,
So so basically it's just, just a brief, y'all. It's a little like, the myth of people having to be in a relationship, having to be married, and certain people are single and they're happy with it. But certain people don't feel like they're happy. So we're just getting a little, a little banter, girl, a little conversation, maybe a little debate or whatnot, just to give you a little something, something. We don't want to keep you too long. So I'm gonna start it off by saying I'm married, so
happily married.
happily,
Happily.
happily married. So yeah, I do have opinions though. I do have opinions, but happily single. Like when they say happily, when you say happily single, like what comes to mind? Like what comes to mind as far as like what that means to you? Like like how do you feel about people telling you that you have to be in a relationship or that you have to be married or at a certain time? It's a time frame on it or whatever. Well, whether it's male or female, or like how do you feel about like you know people and how they feel about it?
I would say that, yes, there is that societal pressure to get married, for both men and women, but I think especially for women. But first, I think, happy, you shouldn't let your happiness rely on someone else in the sense that, oh my gosh, I need someone to complete me. I need someone to make me feel happy.
Mhm.
Happiness should come within yourself. So you can't rely on that external locus of control to say, oh yes, my happiness is hinged on this person or hinged on the idea of being married. No, you have to be happy within yourself and know
Mm.
that you're complete. You're a complete person within yourself before you even can think about getting into a relationship. Because I think society has set this idea that you're incomplete without a person. But to say that you're incomplete,
Mm.
for me, it's, I believe in God. So for me, it's
Mm.
saying, like, what are you saying, that God created you incomplete? No, He created you completely. And I feel like when you get into a relationship, a person can complement you. They can complement you and they can be your destiny helper in the sense that they push you in your goals, they push you in your destiny, but they can never complete you because you're complete in and of yourself.
You better go ahead, Dale. You better go ahead now. Listen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Jeez. I'm telling you. Oh, just a small the bow steel one. Okay, because I know the little back part right there. If it, that's the on button on the back. But if it's green light, she's still on. I meant to say that before. So what do you think about it, Mark?
Um. Hmm. I agree on certain parts in
Mm.
terms of you have to be happy within yourself, because if you're not happy within yourself, then you're not living, I would say. Um in this day and age, in this time, especially in this time,
Mm.
social media plays a big part with day-to-day process. And people post their lives now on social media
Yep.
rather than living their life. um I've seen I've seen countless, things of like people are doing like solo trips all around the world
Right.
and posting it saying, "Oh, you can do it, this is
Right.
possible," and all this stuff. And then you got people that have like, I follow this one couple is called Black Travel, and it's a husband and wife with kids, and they do family stuff, and it's like, "Oh yeah,
Mm.
you can do this too." So it's like it's that uneven balance of like,
Mm.
okay, yes, you can be single, you can do certain things, but then it's also like, yes, you can have a family, you can do certain things too. But it's what the individual wants themselves in terms of what do you want for you.
Mm.
I think a lot of people, and I say this very, very gently, I feel as though a lot of people want a relationship but don't want the love and the commitment that comes with it.
Okay.
um a lot of people want the affection, the, I would say, gifts that your partner gives,
Mm.
but they don't want to put in the work. If
Yeah.
something gets up or something gets a little shaky, a little rocky, people always like, oh, pointing fingers, or this and that, and or they're like, oh well, I saw this on social media, I saw that, or whatever, and
Mm.
comparing it to what you're going through, and rather saying like, no, all right, everything that I see or everything that I experience is not what I'm going through right now with this person.
Mm-hmm.
So let me reassess, let me re look at what we as
Mm.
one whole being can do,
Mm-hmm.
because God made Adam and made Eve.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to look at that to say, okay, why did he make these two opposites to become whole?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I
I like that. Though. That's definitely an in depth look
yeah.
on it as far as how to look at it, because and just going back to what you said, Dela, about not needing somebody to make you happy and stuff
Hmm.
like that. It's and to be honest, happy is really a state of mind.
Yes.
Happy, being happy is a state of mind. So you can be happy now because your belly's full because you just ate,
Exactly.
and you feel content, and okay,
Hmm.
yes, I'm pleased and I'm happy with this or
Hmm.
whatnot.
Hmm.
But then that'll wither as you start to, time goes on the next day.
Yep.
you know
Yep.
so when I say happy, people, I think I said, like, in society, people really feel that, like, they put happy in a place to say, like, if you don't make me happy, which is the other person,
Hmm.
it's kind of like they don't want you. They don't. It's like you can't do nothing for me or whatnot. It's like a lot of people, I think, they follow trends,
Hmm.
and they follow different things on social media and what they see in society, and they're saying to themselves, like, well, I just want to be happy. Like they say, like, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? Like, you just want to be happy? Like, I feel like it's definitely a misconnect when it comes to real relationship and real connection versus I just want to be happy. But I think if until we, as a people, we kind of sort out that and say, okay, cut away all of the bull crap, all of the images on social media, all this stuff, all of the, like, the expectations is what it is. It's the expectations of what, society puts on us to say, hey, this is the image, as like Marcus was saying, like a vlogging family where they travel and stuff like that, that this is what it looks like to be happy. And because someone like you, like, or it could be me, it could be you, doesn't have that, or my relationship or singleness doesn't look like that, it's like we can get depressed, or we can get, beside ourselves, because we're looking at society putting standards on things, and this is where we need to look at first before we decide to get in any type of relationships and stuff like that. But I definitely agree, like, as far as being single, you can definitely be content with yourself. Like you said, you don't need no one to make you happy. You don't need anybody to, fulfill you. But there is a design. There is a design that has us, man was born, he was lonely, he put us to sleep, and then he made Eve, which is pretty much our opposites.
I actually like how, and I'm I would say honestly, I'm a church person, but I'm not a big church person.
Mm-hmm.
But like just listening and reading a little bit, I like how that happened in terms of man was by himself, he was lonely.
Mm.
But where Eve came from, the rib of man, like
Mm-hmm.
if people really understand your rib cage, where's your rib cage located? What does your rib cage do?
That's it right there.
What does it protect? It protects your heart, it protects your organs, it
Yep.
protects your lungs. Your lungs need you to breathe
Yep.
fresh air. Your heart pumps blood in your body to your
Mm-hmm.
brain everywhere. So, man, God made Eve from your rib to protect you as a
Mm-hmm.
man. But a lot of men nowadays are not, they're not protecting themselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're not protecting themselves, A lot of men are doing a lot of stuff and they're like, oh well, women are this, women are that, and then women are not protecting themselves or others, saying,
Mm-hmm.
oh well, men are this, men are that. But like Dale said, is are you happy within yourself first?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you're not happy within yourself, then you're fighting a losing battle right now.
That's true. I agree.
Like,
I agree.
I would say, I think first of all, we need to distinguish between, when someone says they're happy and content with themselves, it's not like, oh, I don't need no man in my life, I don't need a woman in my life. No, it's not like that. It's saying I'm secure in my identity and in who I am first. But before I can get into a relationship with someone and add value to their lives, how am I secure within myself? Because if you're not secure within yourself, you can't put that pressure on someone else. There's insecurities on someone else. So when
Totally
you
agree.
right, so when you get into a relationship with someone, you have to feel whole within yourself first to say, I'm content with where I am. I can let me see how I can use my gifts, how I can serve my gifts to others while I'm in my singleness.
Mm-hmm.
Learning how I can be complete and fulfilled in my singleness, so that if and when I do get into a relationship, I'm not expecting someone to say, "Oh, you don't make me happy. You don't make me this." Adding value to that person and looking at how you can be a blessing to their lives and how they in turn can be a blessing to you. And it's funny when you were talking about the rib, I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, you know, a woman can protect you, they can offer comfort to you. Um, but same with a man as well, looking at how you're securing yourself first, not like um, basically not just how what I can get for myself out of this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at like I said, destiny helpers. So Eve serves Adam's destiny, right? So looking at how we serve as destiny helpers in pushing each other into our purposes, but being secure in ourselves first. So I want to distinguish it between not this feminism where it's like, oh, the single ladies, oh yeah, put your hands up and I don't need a man. No,
Okay.
definitely not like that. So that's not my perspective. Right. Was that a copyright?
No. That's why I said it on. I agree. No, I like that. And I like that word, destiny helper. I like that. I like that one. That's a first. I like that. I agree because like you said, like it's one thing, like you said, people always had this notion of it's 50-50. And it's not 50-50.
Right.
It's 100-100.
Right.
You know, and that's what you said. While you're single, working on yourself and doing the work, and so that when you do meet someone or go and bring someone in your life, however you look at it, however you want to view it, you will be ready,
Right.
you know, or equipped. Obviously, you're not going to be perfect,
Right.
you know, because I think that's a lot of thing that we feel like we have to be like perfect. I have to have at a couple million saved in the bank. I gotta have my own house. I got a couple million was a little drastic, but you know,
You need more than a couple million.
If that's the case, I'm staying single
You
now.
need a couple more million.
Yeah. But it's like it's like we feel like we have to have all of these things, right? I understand we want to be, you know, secure, but what we was talking about earlier, I was just having a conversation with wifey just the other day, and I said, you know, I don't want to work myself silly. You know, working 2 and 3 jobs and stuff like that. You know, I feel like everybody, the world's way of and I'm gonna be a little sexist if people take it that way. The world's way of viewing a man is he has to work. Yes, you work and you provide for your family, right? But when where's the line drawn to where you're working and providing for your family? And I mean like working. So it's a lot of people feel that the man should take care of everything, finances, a lot of stuff like that. So in this day and age, if you ain't got one job I mean, you're making tens of $1,000s a week, I mean a month, you're gonna struggle to pay support an entire family in Bermuda off of one salary unless you got 2 or 3 hustles. So you know what I'm saying? So that wifey don't have to work. So my thing is that with that, God wants our attention. God wants us to rely on Him. He said we go to Him and He will supply all our needs. If we're working 2 and 3 jobs, and it's just my opinion, right? Where's the time that you're gonna have to put in for Him? Where is the you know, you're gonna be exhausted. You're gonna be, you know, because you're not just gonna show up at your work and give so much percent. You got to show up at home and give 100% as well, right? So where do we draw the line between, okay, I'm trusted in God to supply everything and going to Him, and you give a check to Him and He'll multiply. He makes ways. He makes things happen. When you go and try to do it out on your own, now you're slipped out of His wheel and you're saying, no, I'm got it, because you want to work all these jobs, because you want to be the one, because you feel that it's on you to do it. But no, man was never supposed to govern or to take control of the family unit himself. The thing is, it's God, then it's the man. If you get a man that could submit to God first, then that's when you find something real. Because if he's trying to do everything on his own, that's where I feel like it becomes a problem. Because then now you're becoming self-reliant on what you need to take care of, and you were never designed to be self-reliant. None of us were. We was designed to rely on God, and He supplies all our needs. Now, however that shows up or works out or whatever, that's different according to each household, each person. But I just wanted to say that because I felt it was a little bit like on the lines of when it comes to how it ties into, say, it might have been a sidebar, but when it comes to singleness, I feel that with that, what having been said about, um, what I was just talking about, I feel that the expectations again for man to provide and things like that is just it depends on where you're looking at it from. It depends on if you're looking at it from a biblical standpoint or a believer standpoint, or if you're looking at it from a worldly standpoint or society or whatnot. Um, how you're gonna view it, or how what you're gonna want in or from a partner. You know what I'm saying? Because like you were saying, that we ought to be complete, before we meet our significant other. So what do you think that what do you think completeness looks like? What does that, before you feel you're ready
Mhm.
for a partner while you're still single, what does that completeness look like, to see if, like, to say that, okay, I think I'm ready now? Or if that's even something that you feel you have control over, like, that someone comes into your life, like God brings them, or you meet someone or whatnot. What do you think that looks like?
Um,
That's the
I would
message
say,
from the night. Sorry.
so I would say for me, completeness is a state of being. So when you feel complete before you feel like you're ready for a relationship, it's like, um, sometimes it can, for me, about, I mean, may not be for other people, but for me personally,
Mm.
I feel like, okay, do I have my affairs in order, in the sense that, um, like job wise, financially wise, do I feel financially secure, before I get into a relationship? Because although the man is the provider, I feel like I can and should be able to supply
Mm.
something to that relationship as well,
Absolutely.
where I can say, I know how to manage finances. This is, these are the finances I have. This is
Right.
the job I have. Because I don't want to put, I personally, don't want to put that pressure on a man to be like, okay, you went through college and, like, what can you supply me, or what can you
Mm.
provide type thing. So for me, I feel like when I'm financially stable, get into a relationship, emotionally as well. So when I think about, we've all been through past relationships, past hurts, thinking about, am I completely healed emotionally so that I don't put that, those insecurities into that next relationship. And one phrase that I really love is that, one of them, I can't remember who it's by, but, um, it says something like, you need to heal from what hurt you before you bleed on those who didn't cut you.
Ooh.
So
Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
Run that back.
No,
Run that back.
yeah. Say that one
Wow.
more time now.
Wow.
so you need to heal from what hurt you before you bleed on those who didn't cut you. So, so it's not my quote; it's a quote by,
Ooh.
someone. But, basically, looking at how, if I feel, you think you're healed from something, or you knowingly have these insecurities, but you're so desperate to be in a relationship that it's like, these insecurities don't matter, that it won't affect this relationship. But when you've been through hurt, whether it's past trauma, childhood trauma, or past relationships that hurt you,
Mhm.
you need to properly heal from that, to the point where you're not rehashing things from the past and putting it on that new person, where you can say, um, this is a completely new relationship, this is a completely new person. Something that I learned when I was in, university, I had to do a psychology course because, I'm in education.
Okay.
So one of the things that I learned about was something called overgeneralization. And what that means is, you learn something from one situation, and then you apply it to a new situation, because you're like, this is like the past one. But then sometimes you overgeneralize too much, where it's like, oh, I need to, um act a certain way or be a certain way for this thing and this thing and this thing.
Yeah.
So when you have a trauma response from one relationship, you overgeneralize that to new relationships when that
Totally agree.
person isn't even that person's trying to heal you, that person's trying
Yeah.
to love you.
Yeah.
So you pass that on to those new relationships.
Yeah.
So I think when you know you're complete, when you can say, okay, this happened in the past with my acts, but I'm not gonna overgeneralize that and put it into this new relationship.
Mhm.
I'm putting an end to that. That's thrown into the sea of forgetfulness. I'm done with that thought process, and I'm entering into this new relationship with this healthier process, healthier thought
Yeah.
process. So I feel like when you know that you're healed from these insecurities, um, you're ready for that relationship, and when you know what you can bring to the table, not knocking against stay-at-home mothers or whatever, because that might be something that your family can support, but knowing what you can provide, whether it's financially, like this is what I can provide financially, this is what I can provide emotionally.
Yeah.
That's when I feel like you know that you're complete without spilling those hearts into your new relationship.
I agree with you on that. Because there has, well, me personally, I've definitely been into relationships thinking that, okay, yes, I have healed from my previous ones, and looking back at it now, it's like I wasn't really healed, you know. And I could see it, I could picture it vividly in terms of, oh, I said this or I did that, and they reacted this way, and they said this thing and it made me react. And so I'm like, it makes sense now, because of the fact that I was not healed from my previous one, and now I've put it on this one. And it goes both ways, because a lot of females carry a lot of weight as well, as much as men do. And some women go through emotional um abuse, physical abuse, man, anything. It's spiritual abuse, like, and they carry that with them just as much as men do as well. And they sometimes, a lot of people, men and women, sometimes I'm an advocate of it. We get in the honeymoon phase right off the bat, and that honeymoon phase is actually, and I was watching a clip on Instagram. The honeymoon phase is actually the critical time when you're supposed to talk about that dark stuff,
Yeah.
and when you're supposed to have those
This
conversations.
is true.
Because that honeymoon phase gives you there's butterflies to, like, yes, I really like this person, but I need to tell them, look,
Yeah.
this is what happened to me, this is how I felt, or this is what's going on. So that person could really look at themselves and be like, okay, I know what she's going through, I know what he's going through. Let me see what I can do to help that, or not even help, but to provide and protect that from
Yeah.
him and myself. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of things that a lot of people don't really do, because it's the honeymoon phase. You're happy, you're excited. Oh yeah, I got this girl, I got this guy.
Yeah.
We're this, we're doing that, we're traveling, with whatever. And you forget, and then when you get to those pivotal months or those pivotal years, and you're like, ooh, okay, yeah, I got something to tell you. And then it's like, wow, and then that's when the roller coaster ride starts happening. And those things, a lot of people don't realize that those things can be avoided, because if you talk about it in the beginning, they can be resolved right there and then. But it's just something that a lot of people don't really consider, which is at a pivotal point. So, but
Yeah, we get blinded.
yes,
We get blinded, like, you know, when you be, like you said, the butterfly is the butterfly effect. You get blinded and you just all hopped up on sugar and and all of that stuff. And you're going on trips, you're going on dates, you're doing all these things, and you're all excited or whatever, like, oh, oh, I like him, oh, I like her, type of thing. And then, like you said, it's very important to talk about the things, have conversations. It's
Yeah.
okay to date. It's okay to still feel and have butterflies, of course,
Yeah.
especially if you like the person.
Yeah.
But I think it's very critical to talk about certain things at that stage, like you
Yeah.
said, I'm a piggyback off of you because, like you, I was the type of person that just laid everything right out from the get go. Like I
Mhm.
can't, I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm not a liar, but I'm very like truthful.
Yeah.
You know, it's like why to me it's like why lie? You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like
Exactly.
it brings us into another thing. I'm not going to go too much into that, but it brings us to it's another topic that I want to talk about with that. But as far as to be honest, I'm gonna be very transparent. Like with baggage and stuff from other kids, I carried it.
Mm.
Yeah.
I had a little minibus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I had,
I had a bus. I had a bus. I ain't gonna.
and I had a bus.
I had a bus.
It might have been.
I had a bus. I had a bus. Yeah, I had a bus of baggage too.
Yes,
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you,
Oh yeah.
especially coming from being married before.
Yeah.
You know, from first
Yeah.
marriage to
Yeah.
second marriage,
Yeah.
last marriage.
Yeah. Amen to
I.
that. Amen to that.
It's like you have a lot.
Mhm.
It was a lot, and sometimes not to disagree with you, but sometimes we feel like we are over certain things.
Yeah.
Like certain things I thought that I was over and stuff like that, but I
Yeah.
definitely felt you when you said we get into the relationship and then we take it and be bleeding on someone. That's why I told you to
Yes.
say it again
Yes.
because I was
Yes.
like, hold up.
Yeah. It made me spin back. It
This
made me.
person's trying to heal me.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
person, I told
Yeah.
God, like when I got out of my first one, I said, well, listen, the next person one is my forever one, and it's not gonna be none of this. You know, I don't want nothing to do with the how the first one's traits or
Mhm.
habits,
Mhm.
mannerisms, the mindset, and all of that
Mhm.
stuff that came with her, you know, and stuff like that. Not to say she was a horrible person.
No,
You know, she
she
wasn't
just
a
wasn't.
horrible
She just wasn't
person.
the one for you.
She just what you said. You couldn't have said it any better.
Just.
She just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I was young. I was really young when I got into a relationship. I was just 18
Yeah.
when I had gotten into that relationship. So I was very young and didn't know a lot about a lot at that age or that point.
Mhm.
So it was like, yeah, it was. She was a lot older. She was a little bit more seasoned, and you know, I got taken for a little bit of a ride and stuff like that. But I learned a lot, and she taught
Mhm.
me a lot of things in life that were very valuable. And but as far as what I thought I wanted, you know, it was that, you know, but it turns out it was like, no, that's not for me.
Mhm.
That's not for me, man. You know, it's a difference
Mhm.
between a woman that wants to be kept
Mhm.
than a woman that wants to help keep us. You know what I mean? I was trying to put a little nice little twang to it or whatever, but I ain't that sharp like dealing with this little.
Gosh, you're so
There's no, you know, there's no quick hits.
Little quick hits.
You know,
Yeah.
no quick hits. But but yeah, like you know, it's I need to be with a woman that wants to keep us, not one that wants to be. It's about me, and I need to be kept.
Yeah.
You know, I want
Wow.
we work together. You know,
Yes.
well,
Yes.
that's why we were created.
Yes.
We wasn't created to. Yes, I feel that as a man, I am responsible for my wife and my family.
Mhm.
And a lot of people don't feel like that, which is why Wakanda, something like a father figure, not just to, this is just my opinion again, I just feel to our kids, but also to our wives. In a sense, and when I say like father figure, not like nothing word, like, you know, like treat like treating you like a child or anything like that,
Yeah.
but just in a father, the way how he protects, the way how he advises, the way how he leads, the
Yeah.
way how he governs, the way how he is like, you know, he gives that emotional support as
Yeah.
well. You know, emotional
Yeah.
intelligence is important.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks just security and protector when it comes to man. I watch Pop the Balloon all the time. I love that show, by the way. I love Pop the Balloon. I love it. I love it. Shout out to BM and Arlette. No, but like, yeah, I what I like about it is the fact that well, what I got from it is that when all the women mostly say is oh, I'm looking for a man. Oh, what you looking for in a man? And it's like a provider and a protector. It's like, so okay, you want money and someone to fight your battle. You physically fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, or whatever. And it's like, that's it. He
Yeah.
could be a dope head and do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean,
It's the
and there's
truth.
no diss to people that are on drugs or anything like that. But it's the truth. Like it's and that's why I used father figure as a man as well, because it's so much more. It just covers so much more.
But also, but even on the female side of it, the female is supposed to be like the mother.
Mhm.
You know, she's you know, and I was telling somebody the other day that, like, you know, there's been several times where a man wants a woman to just curl up next to.
Yeah, yeah.
And I had this conversation with my friend, and I was like, you know, there are some times where, like, a woman looks for a man's response or action to say, "Oh, babe, come lay on the couch with me."
Yeah.
Sometimes, as men, you know, women should just just go lay on the
Yeah,
couch, just
yeah.
go lay next to him. Even don't even matter what he's watching, what he's doing, and just put your arms around him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of
to be a little spoon.
yeah. I love a little loose.
Just as much
As a tall, I'm 6 foot tall, and I like to be a little spoon as well.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, no cap on that. You know,
Yes.
but that's the truth though, because it I can't remember the saying that my cousin used to tell me about. It was women marry or women date their father's image, and the boys, the sons, date their mother's image, and it was something like that. It had to go like, and it was referring to in terms of like a lot of men try to look for a woman that images their mother, nurturing, caring, all that type of stuff, and a lot of women look for what their father done, provider, protector, and stuff like that. But
Whether they're toxic or
rather,
not.
exactly,
That's the truth right there.
exactly. And but it's just like, you know, it's certain things like that it makes a big difference.
It does.
It makes a big difference. I know a lot of my friends, a lot of boys, men that I talk to, that when the woman cuddles up next to him, they shed a few tears. And it's just tears of joy.
It's a release.
It's a tears of like complete happiness
Yeah.
within themselves
Yeah.
to say, I'm truly
Yeah.
got somebody that
Yeah.
is here for me, and not about anything else.
I want to say something real quick. Real quick. So just to piggyback off of that, real quick, I really believe in that. As far as that, I feel like when you create the space for a man to be the man you want him to be, vulnerable, you're gonna get a man that is gonna give you everything. The more you take away his space to be vulnerable and you leave him to the hard things, and you just his calloused, and then you want him to be soft and loving when you want him to be, it's just not gonna happen. You have to create the space, and I feel like sometimes some women, not all of them, because the way they were raised, the way they saw daddy was hard. I don't want no sissy man. I don't want no crying man. I don't want no man that you know this, that he got to be this. The first minute they show some type of vulnerability, just turned off from him. So I did. That was very important what you said about that. You create the space, and you're gonna get a whole different type of man that you really need. Trust me.
Just to add on to what you were saying, it's interesting because like my father's has always been involved in my life, and when I think about him, because my parents got divorced, I think when I was about 4. But when I think about him, he always spent time with me. He showed unconditional love, agape love, right? So when I feel like when I look at him, the genuine love that he shows to me, even at me almost 40, he still tells me he loves me after every conversation. And I think because of how he modeled his behavior towards me, that definitely influences the partner that I'm going to choose in my life,
Yes.
and even the way
Yeah.
he treats my mama. So he treats her with the utmost respect. It's not like because the
Right.
marriage ended, I'm going to end my respect for you.
Yes.
So even when it
Yes.
comes to the
I like that.
divorce households,
Mm-hmm.
looking at how you of course you love your child, but looking at how do you treat the mother,
Yeah.
because that romantic love ended, the respect shouldn't end on both
Yes.
sides,
Yes.
right?
I
So not
agree.
just with
Yes.
the male, the father towards the mother, but the
Mhm.
mother towards the father as
Yes.
well,
Mhm.
showing that
Yes.
mutual respect when the love has ended, type thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I also say when you're talking about creating a space for men,
Mm.
it's funny. I feel like you were reading my mind. What was going on in my mind? But create. I feel like mind reader. So Josh has been reading my
Yeah,
notes, and I was like,
yeah.
but creating that your wife, she's a mess. No, but creating, when you said that space of vulnerability, I was thinking about like that space of grace. So that
Yeah.
space
Mm.
where you know, being vulnerable with each other and not rehashing, not saying what that person says and rehashing it and saying, oh yeah, and so you're always gonna be like this because you told me that you're like this and you're always gonna be this way.
Mhm.
Then that space of vulnerability, that's supposed to be like, okay, I have your heart and I'm gonna protect your heart. I wanna
Mhm.
I want to protect you. You shared that information with me.
Mhm.
I want to create this space of grace, where I say, okay, I see what you're going through, and I'm going to help you heal through it. If it's something that you're sharing that's a deep or hurtful topic,
Yeah.
but also something as simple as how was your day? Or my day was hectic, and really getting rid of that stigma, like man needs to be hard or tough and
Yeah.
can't be emotional and vulnerable because at the end of the day we're human. We have emotions attached to us as social beings. So creating that space of grace for that man, where they can feel vulnerable, so that you can have a healthy marriage, a healthy relationship, because not everything's gonna be roses. Sometimes you're gonna go through situations and you're gonna have to learn the art of communication.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I definitely agree. I just want to reel it in. Um, I definitely agree on what you was just saying. Like, I feel like when it comes to like overall, like being single, like and happily single, I feel like
Being single's hard.
is it?
It's hard.
I haven't been
Would say
single for a long
I would
time.
say being not to cut you up, but
No,
being
please.
single is hard. Like it's hard because you you're in a deep thought or deep transit within yourself.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And I would say for me being 35, it's like
Mm-hmm.
growing up with technology. It plays a pivotal point because, like I said, a lot of people's doing social media, doing their podcasting, their
Mm-hmm.
TikTok, their
Mm-hmm.
all their social bloggers and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like a lot of people's creating an image of what they think is supposed to be this be all end all type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
when really it's just something that they're going through. But because people are putting it on social media, they're like, okay, this has to be true.
Yeah.
This has to be the way. This
Yeah.
has to be what I should
Because it's
do
on the internet.
because it's on the internet. You know what I mean? Instead of like having a deep soul connection with themselves. Like for me, I sometimes there have been times where I would ride up to Scarborough Hill by myself,
Mm.
middle of the night, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and just sit there in complete silence
Mm.
and just be underneath the stars at night, just listening to nature or just being outside and just being in a zone of, okay, Marcus, like what is it that you really want?
Mm-hmm.
Looking going forward for yourself, for your kids. What is it that you really want? Is what type of happiness
Yeah.
would you like? If you want this happiness for yourself, what does it look like?
Yeah.
What does it feel like? You know what I mean? Because a lot of people can say, "Yeah, I want to be happy," but what
Mhm.
type of happiness?
Exactly.
What? because you can be happy 2 minutes. Somebody give you 20 grand, right?
Hello.
All right. Yeah, hey, all right, yeah, I'm happy. No,
Yeah,
after that 20 grand's gone,
it's all over.
I'm back.
Yeah. It's
You
true.
know,
It's
you
true.
know, or you get that brand new car and then you go down Harborwood and hit a pothole and then bang it up and then it's like,
Not harboring. Where all the accidents have been happening.
you know, yeah, you bang up your car and then you're like, oh God, I gotta pay this, and you know, so
Yeah.
it's like, what type of happiness that you really want,
Hmm.
you know? But yes, for me, I think being single is really hard because it's finding yourself, especially growing up with social media. It's finding yourself. I
Hmm.
think for me is really hard.
Yeah. It's and it's cool. Like I think when you're soul searching and trying to find yourself, like I think we should give ourselves grace, room,
Mhm.
and space to
Mhm.
just figure things out. Like date yourself.
Yeah,
You know,
I did that a
like
couple
you said,
whiles.
yeah,
Man, took myself movies and all that.
yeah.
Oh, what?
Date yourself. Go to the restaurants. It was a period before I met
Your wife?
yeah, my wife between me
Mm-hmm.
two.
Mm-hmm.
That was a couple years that I did the same thing or whatever, just to reevaluate.
Yeah.
Because in every situation, whether you come out of it's a breakup or it's a divorce,
Yeah.
it's always a thing where people feel like, excuse me, that oh, it was her fault because she cheated. It was his fault because this and whatever the case is. No, the person could have cheated, but it's always room for reflection.
Mm-hmm.
It's always room for reflection, and I think a lot of people don't ask themselves or tell themselves what to do in that situation. Excuse me. So I had to do a little bit, of a reflection. But you have
Yeah.
to take your time for yourself. You have to be like, because I used to
Yeah.
beat myself up a lot. Say, oh, well,
Same
what
here.
did I do? And
Same here.
this, that, and the third. And I'm not you know, a good as provider as I want to be.
Yeah.
And I this and this. And,
Yeah.
oh, I should be farther along for my age. And all these things that we, plays on our mind. But I just feel God brings people in our lives that's gonna be for us.
Yeah.
You know, what's meant to be for you, what meant to be for you. Hold on one second, please. Y'all continue.
Yeah. So so I would say for me, I guess for me, I sometimes it's a matter of perspective, right? Because for
Right.
me, I've always been more of a learner in the sense that I would do things on my own, like go to movies on my own, still do it, go to movies on my own,
Right.
go different places on my own.
Right.
And so I've always been that learner in the sense of I'm content within myself, and I guess I don't exactly know where that came from.
Mm.
So it's not like hurt in the sense of, oh, I don't want a man bother me. I'm hurt.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna be by myself. It's
Yeah,
just being content with who you are, and then looking at, okay, this space that I'm in now, this season that I'm in now as a
Mhm.
single person.
Mhm.
What can I do? How can I use my gifts, my talents
Right.
to bless others?
Right.
How can I develop myself?
Correct.
Whether it's
Correct.
taking courses or whether it's just spending time with friends.
Yeah.
And even now in my singleness, I have two young godsons,
Okay.
and sometimes I'm just like, you know what? Let me give their parents a break for a day
Yeah.
to just hang out
Yeah.
with them. So
Absolutely.
even while I'm single, knowing how I can use my time
Mhm.
to see certain things, like
Yeah.
spending time with my godson,
Yeah.
because just to ease their parents up.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, that's what I kind of think my take on singleness, and I know that a lot of people do yearn to be in a relationship,
Right.
and and a lot of times we need to learn how to silence the noise of society. With
Yeah.
you have to be married at this age, and
Yeah.
because I definitely would have gotten an F, have an F according to
I
society.
definitely have an F right
Right.
now. I'll tell you that.
Right. But then learning to silence the noise of societal expectations.
Yeah.
Because even when you see those things on social media, like, it breaks my heart when you see celebrities who seemingly look happy and then all of a sudden you
Mhm.
find out they committed suicide.
Yeah.
So people can portray certain things on social
Yeah.
media for views, for money,
Yeah,
but behind closed doors, they may not even be happy.
yeah.
And some people are married, but they're still lonely. So, you have to look at that as well. And that's my take on singleness versus, what society expects of us.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you on that. Like I said, it's I I hate to piggyback on it again, but it's like I really don't. I'm trying to find the purpose of what social media is all about, because back when, obviously, when we was growing up,
Hmm.
social media was just to advance us in terms of with our knowledge, make us better, help us in terms of figuring out a problem or what's going on, or certain things like that. No, social media is all about making money. To me, at least, it's there's no like there's no pivotal point to say like, okay, social media is helping us. It To me, at least, I would say it feels like social media is just a I would say not a bit of a scam or Ponzi scheme, but it's more so in terms of just like it feels like people are just making money just to create an image or create this idea that certain things have to be this way or certain things have to go this way for you to live a happy life
Hmm.
or to be happily single. um it's very unfortunate, and it's very sad, because like I was just thinking of it the other day. Like my parents have been married for almost 50 plus years, and they were at a point where it was like, well, we don't know too much about social media. We know, hey, pick up the phone, call, or hey, like, we're gonna go this place, or we're gonna go this place or that place together, or we're gonna do this, or certain things like that. As now it's like, now it's like, all right, well, let me message this girl, see if she answers. Oh, well, she didn't answer. All right, well, I'm gonna do something else. Or let me message this guy. Oh, he left me on red. Oh,
Mm,
okay, well, so it's like
mhm.
it takes away the, I wouldn't say the old ways of how to communicate, but it makes it so much, to me, it makes it so much silly and just belittle to not even just say, I'm gonna let me go pop by this person's house and
Mm.
see how they're doing, or let me if I see him in passing, stop and, hey, what's going on, let's go for lunch, or let's have a conversation,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean. And so I think that's why a lot of people are single today in this society, because of the fact that a lot of people don't want to put in the effort or put in the commitment, or even, or they're, I wouldn't even say that they're happy within themselves, because I know a lot of people that want to be in relationships, but they're afraid to be in a relationship because they don't know what they want, you know. But like I said, I think social media definitely plays a big part in this society. I
Definitely.
am I am very, very, I wouldn't say scared, but I'm a little terrified for my kids coming up
Hmm.
now, because I'm like, boy,
I think we all are.
like, boy, this it is unreal.
We was the last of the Mohegans.
This is it. This
We
is
was
it.
our age bracket.
Our
We were
age
the
bracket,
last of the Mohegans.
our age bracket
Yeah.
was the last
Before social
of
media.
social media.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now these children are in a completely
yeah,
social media dominated
yes,
generation.
yes,
To whereas that's the standard.
yeah.
Not what your parents say, not
Mhm,
what your pastor says,
mhm,
not what the teacher says,
mhm.
not what the neighbor, the neighbor, the old cat,
Yup.
or your nana,
You're not.
or
Yup.
whatever. These things
Yup.
are not saying they're completely gone,
Mhm.
but for them, most of it is gone.
Yup.
Social media has replaced that for all of them, for
Yup.
most of them, and like you said, no. They see music artists. They watch movies. They
Yeah.
see the music videos. On social media. Some of these music artists they do more fighting and crap online and doing vlogs and
Yep.
different stuff on social
Yeah,
media than actually
housewives
making.
of this
Yeah,
Atlanta.
yeah.
Like,
This is more
come on,
popular, I
like,
think,
really?
between the reality shows,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the music artists. Everything's just merging together, and
Yeah.
and the two of them that's already a powerful influence is just creating this bomb
Yeah.
that's just being blown up in our kids' faces in this generation, to
Mhm.
where it's like, you know, they think they think these things is real.
Mhm.
What they sing about, what they talk about, what
Yeah.
they see. And before, when we was good, I'm not saying that some of the rappers and the artists, whatever, the were some promiscuous drug dealers or even out of
Mhm.
prison too.
Mhm. Mhm.
But you never saw that. You never saw that. And there was only so much that they can put out in order for, because it was a, more of like a sensory influence,
Yeah.
that you only had so much, that
Yeah.
you can do. Now it's just like the floodgates are open,
Yeah. Yeah.
and anybody can say and do anything that they want,
Mhm.
and it's no consequences for the influence that's impacting,
Yeah.
generations.
Yeah.
Which, sidebar, I think it's premeditated. It's actually an agenda, but that's another podcast. That's a whole nother podcast.
That's for sure.
But yeah, I wanna bring this to a close.
Yeah.
If nobody else has nothing,
I'm good.
that you want to air, which is fine. But I want to bring it to a close. Yeah, I think with the right person, working on yourself.
Mhm.
That's a must.
Absolutely.
Work
Absolutely.
on yourself. Take time. Take your time with yourself. Get to know yourself. Get to know the things that you like.
Mhm.
Get to know, all of that stuff. Because let me tell you, when you get into marriage and relationship, and then especially moving in, people always think cheating's the ultimate thing that's gonna break a marriage. Or let me tell you, it's not.
Mhm.
Pet peeves,
Mhm.
sharing a space with someone,
Mhm.
all the little things, they mount up to be that Mount Everest.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
the disconnecting communication is one of the
Absolutely.
biggest.
Absolutely.
You could disconnect on communication from as little as how we put the washcloth on the sink.
Yeah.
Whether you put it over
Over the
over the
faucet,
faucet,
or
or
put
you
it, or
fill
put
it
it on the
on the
sink.
sink,
Yeah.
on the counter,
Yeah.
or whatnot.
Yeah.
And then you gotta keep coming. Didn't I tell you not to? Why this girl? Why this?
Yeah.
Oh, he's always gotta move my stuff.
Yeah.
It could be just as it too. I would wipe my hands on them things quick. I'm telling you. But the thing is, we laugh, but it's important. And then it could be as big as disconnecting communication on finances.
Yes.
How to raise our kids.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. That's where the work comes in.
Mhm.
That's the work part right there when
Absolutely.
they talk about marriage. It's work. But anything I from my own experience, anything with the right person that has a similar mindset to you, to say, hey, we're in this together. We're in this together and we want to make it work, it's gonna
Right.
work.
Yeah.
Because you both want to make it work. You're
Yeah.
like-minded in that fact.
Mhm.
You don't have to be like-minded in all your decision making, but as long as you're grounded under God, and you kind of like-minded, no, well, we're gonna figure this thing out.
Yeah.
I think you're good. It'll be work, but that's the way right there.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
When you find someone who's, maybe too superficial, too much selfishness, or into themselves, or they're only willing to do this much of the relationship. It's like, well, I'm willing to give my 100, but you're only willing to give 43.
Right.
that ain't gonna work for me.
Right.
That's not gonna work for us. You know. So yeah, I definitely think it's about taking your time with yourself, date yourself, travel with yourself,
Yeah.
have fun with yourself, give yourself time, space, and grace,
Yes.
and just once you get that, sort yourself out, whether you're living, finances, all of that stuff like that. And then once God brings somebody into your life or whatever, when you're dating and you got them butterflies, that's okay.
Baby steps.
That's okay. Exactly. And then lay it bare like a rug. Because you gotta let them know
Yeah.
where,
Yeah.
you gotta let them know where you're coming from. Like when I first, real quick, when I first met my friends were telling me, I don't know if it was you as well, but these lot was telling me, it was like, don't don't bombard her with like all the stuff like right away, like oh, this is what I want, or I got a little baggage her, I got a little something her, I was married before, I have a kid. It was like, don't put all that on her at once. And I was just kind of like, it's like, take your time. And I was thinking about it, and then I was like, kind of like, well, why not? That was just me in my head.
Mhm.
And it was in a way where we had a conversation. It wasn't like, the bombarding. It didn't sound like I just met her and was like, okay, and I just rapid fired it off all the things. You know what I mean? We was having conversations. So wherever the conversation went, what do you do? Oh, I'm a lawyer per se, and I do this. Oh wow, I'm that's cool. Like what type of lawyer? It just went
Yes.
into questions. Just
Yes.
ask questions and
Yeah.
and make it where it's like it's fun, laugh.
Yeah.
Don't take yourself too serious.
Right.
Don't take you was the cop chick. You was the cop chick. And she did the cop drop. I'm just okay. She was the cop chick. But what I'm saying, yeah. Listen, it has to be. If she ain't dropping, I ain't shopping. No. Listen.
Oh.
No, but serious. That's yeah. Okay. So guys, let us know. Let us know, comment, and let us know, what do you think? What is your take on live happily single?
Yeah.
Maybe some things we missed, or you have something from your perspective
Yeah.
or whatnot. Let us know.
Yeah. Most
All right.
definitely.
So, thank you for being here, Marcus.
You're
And
welcome.
thank you for being here, Shadela.
Good to be back.
Okay.
Good
Of
to be
course,
back.
of course. It's just the beginning now.
Yeah.
It's just the beginning.
Back in the cut.
Yes.
Back
You
in
know
the
that.
cut.
So yeah, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Click that notification bell, or I will kill you. Yeah. Yeah, I could do it and make it look like an accident. I have a cop wife.
Hello.
And she cop drops.
Mhm.
Okay? Bye, y'all.
Take y'all later.